welcome to the Project Phoenix podcast. My name is Kit Sakimi, and I am so honored that you have joined me today. And I don't know if you guys could tell, especially those of you guys watching this on YouTube or Facebook, on the Facebook page, on the Project Phoenix Facebook page, because I upload the video portion of this podcast on there. You could probably tell I'm super nervous. And I also wanted to quickly apologize for the weird audio levels because I could see it right now and it looks like it's cracking here and there. I'm actually using a mic that's not necessarily built for podcasting. This is actually my YouTube vlogging mic, and it was the best thing that I had, so that's what I'm using right now. And I'm new to this podcast recording system, so I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Let's just hope and pray, guys. Hope and pray. Okay, so I guess we'll just talk. Is that what we do on podcasts? We just talk? Because with YouTube, I just kind of talk and then I jump cut things and I do pretty videos and I put them together and I don't know. That's a lot easier than just talking. I could distract people with video clips on YouTube. So. Okay, now I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. You guys have been so patiently listening to this for the last 50 seconds, and I'm just sitting here rambling. Trust me, I'm picking my toes right now, guys. I am so nervous. I'm just sitting here picking my toes. But yeah, so welcome to the Project Phoenix podcast. This podcast is a very special project for me. It's a passion project, if anything. This is a podcast where we will be discussing a lot of mental health and personal growth and self-development, things that mean a lot to me, which is probably one of the reasons why it has taken me so long to actually kickstart this project. I mean, you guys don't know this, but this is like the fourth take I've done. The last take I talked for like 5 minutes and I redid everything because I was like, oh my god, I can't, and I kept giving myself a little bit of an anxiety attack. But I'm not necessarily afraid of talking about the subjects of mental health or personal growth or things like that, but I guess at the end of the day, if I was to be 100% honest, I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it. I mean, I think that is probably mainly what it is that I don't feel qualified to talk about mental health or to give advice about mental health. But let me give you guys a background on me, because you're probably wondering, like, who the fuck is this girl who's rambling on about nothing. Well, this girl is Kit Sakimi, and I am a YouTuber and an entrepreneur, who also in recent years has struggled with anxiety, panic disorders, PTSD, and I guess it's not a recent thing. I mean, it is. The panic attacks and the anxiety and the PTSD that's been since 2015. After I lost my dad and my grandma, I developed that. But even as a teenager, I had depression. I was not institutionalized, but I was hospitalized 3 times for attempting to commit suicide. And my therapists and counselors back in the day used to throw around the word bipolar. So I don't know if I was ever officially diagnosed as bipolar, but that was something that counselors and therapists used to throw around when I was a teenager, when I was going through my hospitalization phases. I was a pretty happy kid if I was to really look back. I mean, I had my issues. I come from, I was a latchkey kid. My mom was always constantly working, and I had a lot of resentment there. My dad also suffered from depression, so there were a lot of moments where he might have been physically present but not mentally present. So there was, I struggled a lot with that, and as well as parents of divorce. I wouldn't say that I had the most terrible childhood compared to a lot of people out there, but it was hard for me growing up because it was a very lonely existence. I was an only child. My dad was very self-involved with himself. He was one of the kindest guys, and wonderful person, but he was struggling with his own demons. And my mom, when I needed my mom the most for emotional support, she was never there because she was, busy trying to put a roof over her head. And yeah, I understand that now as an adult, but back then it was definitely difficult. And, a lot of the depression for me didn't really start showing up till I was, in my teenage years. But even as a child, I was a very sensitive kid. I was very empathetic, or I guess what people would call empath. So I was very susceptible to people's emotions and mood swings, and I'm still that way. I've gotten a lot better, but I still get affected by that. I'm definitely what people would probably call an empath. So I was a very sensitive, fragile child. But I think the biggest turning point for me, and one of the reasons why I started this podcast, is back in 2015, I ended up developing a panic attack about 3 or 4 days after my grandma passed away. And it was one of those classic body goes cold, heart starts beating really fast. I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack. Got rushed to the ER because everyone thought I was having a heart attack type scenarios, and it turned out just to be a panic attack. But it, for about a year after my first panic attack, pretty much the entire 2015, I was pretty much a hermit. I couldn't even leave my house because I was, because of panic, because of my panic attacks. I was very fearful of leaving the house. And but since then, I have done a lot of personal growth and a lot of self-development, and I've gotten to the point where I couldn't even leave the house to backpacking Asia for 8 months. And, living my life. My life is completely different than it was in 2015. And, I still have moments where I still get panic attacks and anxiety attacks, but I've learned to manage it a lot better. And at the time, I felt so alone and hopeless when, especially most of you out there who have depression or panic or anxiety know how lonely it feels and how hopeless it can feel. And I get it. But I wanted to start this podcast because in those moments of in those moments where I was completely in a dark place in my life and I didn't see any way out aside from, killing myself, I'm here now. And life is so much better. Life is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. And I want to help. I want to help people out there get to that point in their life, which is why I started Project Phoenix. I don't know how I can help, if I was to be 100% honest, and I don't even know if I can. I don't even know if there is anything for me to be able to help, or I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm qualified to talk about this. I'm not a psychologist. I'm no guru. But I am somebody who has experienced some of the darkest places a mind can take you, and have come out to the light. And so, I don't know if that qualifies me for anything, but hopefully somebody out there, I can help somebody out there with the things that I've learned. And honestly, it's not just that. I think it'll also give me an opportunity to get my feelings out there and have, people out there who understand what I'm going through listen in on the things that I have to say. So, holy crap, did this whole thing make sense? I just looking at my camera, I've spoken for at least 10 minutes. I don't even know if any of this makes sense. Should I stop this and redo this for the 5th time? I feel like I'm so tempted. Don't even tempt me, guys. I'm so tempted right now. But yeah, this wasn't going to be a long episode. This is literally just an introductory episode. I actually said more than I thought I was going to say. But yeah, this is just the beginning for me, and I am really, really looking forward to what the future of this podcast has to hold. Damn, I don't even know what to say. I think I said everything I needed to say, if I was to be honest. I guess thank you for listening, if you're listening to this. Just a recap, so because I know I rambled for the last 10 minutes, so let's just recap what this podcast is about. My name is Kit Sakimi. This podcast is called Project Phoenix, and in this podcast we will be talking about mental health as well as personal growth. So, yeah. See, this is going to be weird. There's going to be a lot of and a lot of places where I'm not saying anything, which if this was YouTube, I would be totally cutting that up and making it seem like I'm super good at talking, but I'm terrible. I'm not a talker, I'm a listener, so it's going to be really weird for me it's going to take me a while to get used to it, but that's okay, because nothing good comes from staying in our comfort zone, and this is me pushing myself out of my comfort zone. You guys are witnessing a comfort zone push right now. So, yay. Okay, I should go because I've talked for 12 minutes and that's a long ass introduction. So we will catch up on the next episode, which will be an actual episode. And I look forward to talking with you guys more then. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day or evening wherever you are, and if you're not, I truly hope that it gets better, and I just want you to know that no matter how dark life seems right now, there is hope, and there is, as long as your heart is beating, there is always an opportunity to grasp the light, as cheesy as that sounds. Okay. I'm gonna go. I don't have an outro song. I'll figure that out the next time I record a podcast, because I don't know how to do that right now. So I'm just gonna end it. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is the longest goodbye ever and the stupidest intro. Bye.